Today we're going to be looking at the Toyota Alphard Executive Lounge and try to figure out what it's doing in Gran Turismo and whether or not it's worth purchasing. The Alphard was first released in Japan in 2002, and this is actually the third generation of Toyota's flagship minivan. It has since moved out into other Asian markets as well as Russia, but it is not available to the rest of Europe or to the Americas. The Alphard in the Executive Lounge trim is treated almost like a limousine, with the second row seating having reclining third seats as well as air-conditioned and heated second row seats. It's also got a 12-inch monitor that drops down from the ceiling, as well as 17 JBL speakers. The Toyota Alphard gets its name from the brightest star in the constellation Hydra. There's a twin variant of this vehicle known as the Velfire, which is considered a sportier version, which gets its name from the combination of velvet and fire, and yet a third variant, which is a more luxurious vehicle even than this Executive Lounge, which is badged as a Lexus LM300. When it comes to whether or not you should purchase this vehicle in Gran Turismo, it's actually part of one of the extra menus in the cafe, so you're probably going to end up buying it just to complete this menu. As to why it's in the game to begin with, I think part of that's just in the fact that there are so many variants of it, and even though we don't see minivans in most of the world as being a desirable vehicle, the Japanese culture got into modifying them. They have tuner variants, race variants, and even Bozozoku style minivans that are customized by their owners. So they have a different culture around the van itself. So it didn't really surprise me as much that we saw a vehicle like this enter the game. Let's go ahead and head to the expressway and see how it handles on our lap. After full weight reduction and fully modded out, the Alphard ends up weighing 3,360 pounds, so it's not exactly a light vehicle. It does have a few things that counteract that, one being that it's got an 8-speed transmission, but that does mean that you're going to be shifting quite a bit in this vehicle. It also has an all-wheel drive system that gives the vehicle a very neutral feel in the corners. Because of that, the tire wear will shift around the vehicle depending on how you drive it. I've seen it wear unevenly from left to right and front to rear. On our test here, it ended up wearing a little bit more in the back, with the front tires wearing around 10% and the rears around 15%. But on Laguna Seca, I experienced much more front tire wear than the rear. The aerodynamics and weight also affect the fuel economy of the Alphard, and even though it does have that 8-speed transmission, we got full 3 laps out of the vehicle, but we would have run out on lap 4, so we should have really been pitting on lap 3. The vehicle's available all the time in Brand Central for $75,000. It's part of the Cafe Extra menus, so it's one of those vehicles you're most likely going to end up purchasing. So the real question is whether or not you should actually modify it and use it for racing in the game. It can win the Le Mans 700 if you have it set to easy and have the vehicle modded out, but there are much better options available. This is really more of a vehicle you want to use if you're just kind of out having a good time and want to have something a little bit ridiculous on the track. I've seen some nice liveries similar to the one that I have, as well as UPS and DHL and FedEx box truck style liveries as well, and they just add a little bit of quirkiness and fun to the game. So that's more of what this vehicle is actually going to be used for, in my opinion. I don't really see it being used by serious racers. But we are coming up to the line here, and it looks like we're going to finish off with a lap of 2 minutes 11 seconds .405, which puts it behind the Ford Sierra RS 500 and in front of the 83 Golf GTI with the stock motor. So not a bad run for a minivan. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and like and subscribe and hit that bell icon, and we'll keep these coming every week. Have a great day.